Poser alert.
Hell yeah. There we go. That was Incantation live at Maryland Death Fest this one last year. It looks like from the video, it looks like they did the Onward album in its entirety. So, very good clip, multi-camera, all pro and all that shit. All badass. Professionally shot. So, I was looking at it. I think the last time John was on was, it's been almost 2 years. So about time we brought him back, right? So yeah, welcome in anybody who's in here early already. John is here. We are going to talk about what's going on, what's been going on, what's coming up, all that other shit, and whatever else comes up. Probably play some tunes as well. Yeah, check it's the whole video. It's the whole set. So if you have never seen that, look it up. Just put it like Incantation MDF or some shit. And that whole set is on there. And yeah, it's like watching fucking Dio live at the Spectrum and shit. You know, all professional. So anyway, what else? John is like the godfather of death metal at this point. He's been around a while. So those of you that may be here for the first time, welcome in. So Wednesday, I have another show just before we get started. Mark Riddick. If you're watching this, you probably know who Mark Riddick is. He's going to be here on the show with me on Wednesday at 8 Central, whatever time that is where you're at. He'll be here. We'll be talking about a bunch of his past and present musical endeavors. These days he's known, well, I guess for many years now he's been known as a fantastic artist, underground artist. But yeah, he'll be here on Wednesdays. So yeah, if you want to come back, come check it out. Mark's a cool guy. So anyway, all right. Well, let me bring the man on. And if you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and I'll try to get to them. We're just gonna shoot the shit and all that. So let me bring him on now, all the way from North Carolina. Is it?
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Now you're starting to talk like them over there now.
That's right. And and it's crazy because there's a freaking snowstorm outside tonight.
What?
It had about I don't know. Last time I was out, it looked like about 6 inches of snow out there. It's
Fucking
like,
A.
we're not supposed to be getting snow over here. You know what the hell's going on? I moved away from the north to get away from the snow, and then it followed me down. So
well, being from Southeast Texas, I always call bullshit whenever people say North Carolina is like the South. Come on, that's not the fucking South. That's not the fucking South.
For you guys, it's like Alaska or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's not fucking South. Come on, man. But anyway, I've actually been
closer south, I guess.
Yeah, south of the.
It'd still be south.
If you're south of the Mason-Dixon line, then you're south, I guess. You know, but
we are. We're south of the Mason-Dixon line. So
well then I guess you're allowed. Then you're fucking allowed, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love it down here. I'm just blown away by the snow. It just it shouldn't be snowing. So like last weekend had ice storm, and this weekend's been snow, and it's just like, man, it's not supposed to be doing that down here, you know?
Yeah, that sucks. I've actually the only time I've ever been like in North Carolina was on a flight that we had to, I think it was like a layover in fucking some town in North Carolina, but that's whatever the big city is over there. I can't remember. Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah,
Charlotte. I think it was Charlotte.
Because North Carolina is really badass. I love it down here.
I'm sure it is. I'm
sure
actually
it is. Really nice state, and we actually have a pretty good scene going on over here these days. You know, back in the day, it used to be kind of like more of a dead zone for shows and stuff, but now we have a good scene. A lot of metalheads come out and stuff. A lot of shows, so it's actually pretty damn. You know,
Speaking of, I want to just go ahead and talk about this one while we're talking about it. There you go.
Yeah, we got the Carolina Chainsaw Massacre Party. It's like a smaller version of our normal fest, but it's still going to have all the fun, fun aspects to it and stuff like that. And really just pumped. I mean, we got Macabre to do it, which I was like super psyched about because Macabre is like, besides I've been fortunate enough to become friends with them over the years. They're just such a great band. I've been jamming out to a lot of Macabre lately, and just like, man, it's so sick. It's so original, so sick. So, when Grim Reality came out, I remember I was a pretty young kid, a teenager, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, this is like the most extreme thing ever. I remember, listening to Dennis's kick drums and being like,
oh man,
play that fast,
dude. Yeah, man.
I boundaries for sure.
Well, and there's only one band that sounds like that. They're that band that has that sound that nobody else can replicate. You know, it's crazy.
Like those three guys, and that's the only way that could happen. It's just somehow it just works with all three of those guys together. I know. And they've been a band that they started off I think they were 86, 83 or 84. They started.
Oh fuck, yeah.
It's been the same three guys all the time.
Same three guys.
That's amazing. They're like.
Dude, I remember watching them one time. I think the first time they ever came down to Houston was already way later. But man, I remember going and seeing him. I was just standing on the stage. All I did was watch Dennis play the whole time. I was like, I got to see his fucking feet. You know what I mean? I was like, how does he do all this shit?
Yeah.
And it was just incredible. I was like, holy fuck. It's like, of course the other guys are amazing. The whole band is great. But, dude, I just watching him, I was like, all right. Yeah, it's fucking real,
Yeah. Well, it's great because they're one of those bands that are really talented musicians, but they know how to put it together. So it just like, it's catchy. Has some,
totally.
technical part to it. It has so much flavor to it, and it sounds original. Like nobody sounds like them, you know? I mean, just can't. I never heard
No,
anyone that even came close to sounding like that, you know? And to me,
no,
it
dude.
kind of represents that golden era in underground scene where there were extreme bands and death metal bands that they were all pushing in kind of different directions, doing their own thing before it kind of became like the rules and stuff like that these days. So I really love, that aspect of it too, because just it reminds me when death metal was more, about just the passion of trying to push this music further instead of just trying to either, out tight each other or how tight you could play or
Yeah,
how brutal you could be or how scary. Like everyone just wanted to push it in their own way back then. I love that, I wish it was
right.
more like that these days. And I guess it is a little bit, it's coming back a little bit of that feeling, but it's never going to be the same as it was back then just because now so much has been done. But back then, it was like there was a lot of space for bands to kind of expand. But anyway,
Right,
I
right.
love Macabre's fantastic. I've been
What?
listening to their whole discography lately, just getting pumped for the show, and it
Yeah,
just
totally, dude.
reminds me how awesome it is. I mean, I love their cheesy nursery rhyme songs and stuff, but it just all works, you know.
What is that one song? I'm gonna kill you just because I want to. It's like
Yes,
fucking brutal, and then it ends up with like the most brutal. Like you know how their songs
yeah,
end up with like these jams, kind of like just Iron Maiden jams where they're just fucking ripping it up, and it's like, dude, how do
yeah,
you go from fucking I am gonna dee 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 to like
yeah,
It's like fuck, it's
yeah.
incredible.
But that's like, the talent that they have. They're able
Oh
to
yeah,
integrate all these different things into the music. But it's funny because even though they're doing stuff that was like nursery rhymes and other things that were done before, like theme songs sometimes, it always sounds like macabre. It never sounds like it sounds like it just was made to fit in the song, which I think is
right.
fantastic.
Absolutely, that's what I've always said about. And I know you like the band The Accused, but whenever
Yes.
whenever they do covers, it sounds
Yes.
like an Accused song. Every
Yeah.
cover they do, it sounds like, dude, that could be an Accused song. How do you make a song by the Who sound like the fucking Accused? I mean, those
Yeah.
guys were incredible at doing that
I
shit.
agree.
And
Well, that's yeah. I mean, the Accused was kind of in that same era of extreme music where bands, I don't know, they just had something special that just made them distinctively themselves. And the Accused is a perfect example of that. There,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
that
no, yeah, I agree. Before I forget, all these bands that you do name, more than likely, I'm actually going to know which ones you're talking about. Unlike some people shows,
yeah, right.
because
You're trying to
I
tell
have
me.
watched. Huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said because I've watched some of the interviews you've done, and
Yeah,
I didn't just.
I
I
know.
don't think everybody knows what I'm talking about, and it's like it's cool, But whenever you like mention, if you mention like regurgitation, and there's like this fucking just blank stare and the deer in the headlights, is like that shit made me laugh so hard, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
this shit's hilarious.
it's funny because for me, it's part of my history, so it's so nonchalant, but I realize,
Right, right,
like,
right.
we're talking. This is like what 30 something years ago, maybe 40 years ago. That some of these bands, and you know, yeah, some of the newer kids might be looking at me like deer in the headlights or something.
Yeah,
To me,
dude.
it's just like it's just normal. Like, oh, this is just band.
I know. You're like, "Oh, what do you mean you don't know the fucking regurgitation rehearsal from '86? What's wrong with you? Fucking,
Yeah, I think on that
that shit.
on our Garza podcast, I brought up like Pap smear and Necrovore, and it
Oh
just
yeah,
made me
yeah, 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 yeah.
realize and thinking to myself, like, I know he has no clue to what I'm talking about, but the fact is that to be on a show like that and to bring up bands that I really enjoy or are inspirational to me is awesome because then it gives a whole new, these new kids that might not know nothing about anything old school like that will learn about these bands and hopefully, I mean, everyone grows, like
Right.
most people, they start off not knowing a lot. And hopefully, if I could be a part of like trying to get some of these people that might not know about the underground back then to know about it, maybe some of them will like it, and help the future of metal be good.
Let me get some of these comments. This is my buddy Max from Minnesota. Saw Incantation for the first time in 2024 at Metal Threat. Told John I liked his JOABA interview. He laughed and entertained me for a couple of minutes before his show. Very cool dude. So there you go. So that's Max. I guess he was at Metal Threat when
Yeah,
you guys played. But yeah, he's
that was
good.
a fun show to play for sure. It was killed. A lot of great bands on that bill we played. It was awesome.
Yeah. Another one, Paul from Nebraska. He's a Hawaiian living in Nebraska. So
Oh man,
met John for like 10 minutes, 2002, if I remember right, when they were on tour with Cannibal Corpse. John
yeah,
was friendly as hell.
yeah. That
All
was
right.
Cannibal Corpse. What was it? Dark Funeral and Pissing Razors was on that. Uh,
God damn. How do you remember all that?
and
So are you one of those people that remember dates and every band that played? I mean, you've
no,
played a million shows.
no, I'm not really that good. I remember a little bit, but not a lot. You know who's good at that is what's his name? The dude. See, that's how good I am. I can't remember his name.
You can't remember who's good at
The
it.
dude who used to sing for what's that band in Chicago? Syndrome.
Oh,
Singer
Troy
Troy.
or
Yeah, Troy back. That was it. I can't remember. Troy Baxton or something like that. Anyway,
Dixler, that guy?
yeah,
Dixler, right? Troy
he was
Dixler?
the singer for the band. It was really funny because back in probably 91, I think was the first time I went to Milwaukee Metal Fest. It was a time like Obituary and not Napalm Death, Autopsy were playing, and we
Yeah.
went out to the show. And I met him at the show, and he knew he knew who I was or whatever, which he was. I was super pumped about, but he also knew my like phone number and home address. And oh yeah, you knew that. Terrace, Fairlawn, New Jersey, 07410, and your phone number is. I'm just like, huh, that's fucking weird. But
Yeah,
some
this
people
guy's
are
a
just
bit
like
much,
that,
man.
where they just know, they just like could remember, retain all that information. I mean, it was probably about 3 years since I contacted him at that time, but I'm
Yeah.
sure if I see him these days, he would still be able to remember my, the details. He probably remembers more about our conversation we had back in 91 or 92 than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I mean, I'm kind of like jealous of people that can remember details, up to whatever you were fucking wearing that day. But I just, things just blur
Well,
together. So many things nowadays.
it's hard in general, but for like a touring musician that tours as much as we do, it's really difficult sometimes. Like
Yeah, I would
you
imagine so.
remember like highlights of different things, but then you have somebody like only did a couple tours. Yeah, you can remember like the details of the tour. But for me, it's like
Yeah.
I don't usually remember like some of the more standout moments that happened like 20, 30 years ago. You
Right, of
know,
course. And I don't know if you agree with me on this, but and I go around and play shows and do this and that at a smaller
yeah,
fucking level. But to me, the things I remember are the stuff that happened between like the actual stage time. Yeah, some shows
yeah,
are fucking cool, but all the shows essentially are the same fucking thing over and over, right? But I
yeah.
don't know if it is like that for you guys. Like if you have memories of a tour, it's the stuff that happened when you're not on stage.
Yeah, usually if it was, say if there was a party or something we went to, or just some cool hang we did with some people or something, that's
Yeah.
usually what I remember. I don't like the show itself. It's like it's really difficult. I mean, certain circumstances, certain moments you remember, but I think overall it's like, yeah, in a way, I don't. At least for me, like when I get on stage, I like almost. It sounds corny, but I like get into another state of mind where I'm just like so into the music and just letting
Yeah.
the music kind of flow out that sometimes even after I play, I barely can remember. It's almost like I remember going on and then getting off. And there might be a few moments where like I looking into the crowd and something cool's happening or somebody, like someone sticks out to me that I know or I might remember, but it's almost like the whole thing is almost like it's like a weird autopilot, but it's not. Wouldn't even really consider autopilot. It just kind of like you just get into the zone where you're just
Yeah.
like total death or no death at all, and just fucking
Yeah, no,
go.
I totally get it. That's kind of how I am. It's like I'm not, and maybe I should work on it, but I'm not one to fucking like look around and see what's going on. I'm like, in the moment, doing whatever it is we're doing, and then
It's like almost like you get like for me at least, I get like an adrenaline rush or something, and when I
yeah,
get that adrenaline rush, it just kind of like the show just kind of happens on its own, and I just kind of ride out. It's almost like riding out the adrenaline rush. It's really fun. I guess that's probably why I tour so much. I guess I'm like addicted to that stage adrenaline rush or something because it's
Yeah,
pretty
totally.
awesome.
I mean, it's fucking
It's
it's
better than
cool.
crack, you know?
Well, I think last time you were on, you had mentioned that you started noticing. I think I asked you about the crowd, how the age groups that you noticed a lot of the younger generation coming out to the shows. Are you still experiencing that here, like 2 years later?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a funny one was, I mean, especially for this crowd that would watch this, is like we did that tour with Decapitated and Darkest Hour and Ex Mortis, the one from California. Um, it was we were like the sore thumb out for sure. We were doing the Mortal Throne of Nazarene set, and it was just really funny because I mean, really cool in a way because like the band Darkest Hours, they're kind of metalcore band, and they were doing their kind of thing, and they brought their own kind of metalcore kids to the show. But like after seeing us, like we'd see like some of these kids at the show coming up to us, be like, "Holy fuck!" Like I'd never seen anything like that before. And it's great to be able to play for those kids because you hope that like one day some of those like metalcore kids or something or some other kind of more commercial part of metal will dig deeper into the underground and it's I think it's a good thing for the metal scene because it's like these days like metalcore is like our version of I don't know Rat or Twisted Sister or something
Yeah,
know? So it's like it's good to try to corrupt some of these more mainstream people and they like it they want to be crushed it's like they just
yeah,
don't know they're just used to like the run of the mill trendy stuff they hear but when they hear something good a lot of times not all of them but you get a good
yeah.
handful of kids and I'll see them next time at the show and they'll be wearing a death metal shirt instead of like a I don't know Slaughter Prevail or something.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Here's a good question. Hey, so for some reason the chat on the I've been having issues on this little StreamYard thing, but I'm checking the YouTube stream and got a question. John, do you often have young fans or bands coming up to you that hand you their demo or albums? Does that happen anymore? Do people still do that? Are kids hustling or will they say, "Hey, will you here's a link to my fucking band or whatever?" You know?
No, I mean we still get some demos, not really cassette tapes, usually CDs, but yeah, I mean once in a while. Most of the time, they just tell me they're in a band, and it's like if they don't give me like a card or some kind of thing to remember, I usually don't even remember because there's like a
Yeah, of course.
quadrillion different. I'll be talking to like 50 people each night or whatever. So I definitely advise you to like write down your band name and give it to me if you want me to check it out instead of just expect me to remember everything. Especially
Exactly.
like it super sucks when it's like it's something I really want to check out and I'm like, fuck, I can't remember what was that band they were talking about, and I end up spending more time trying to like look them up, trying to find them
Yeah,
and not sure
yeah.
if I'm right. So, but we do get a lot of younger bands, and it's good that there's still younger bands out there that are hungry and still try to do underground music and stuff. Because I think I
Yeah.
probably every single time I'm on your show or a show that's more underground metal stuff, it's like, it's you just never would have thought that this stuff was going to last so long. So
No,
the fact that like people
never.
like younger kids are like even interested in it even in the slightest bit is really mind blowing and I'd like to support them to on their journey into more underground metal like I'm not one of those people that are just like I want to just gatekeep just the old school guys or whatever. I mean of course for me it's fun to hang out with the old school guys because they're my friends but it's
Right.
nice that younger kids getting into it too and not just being like a trend follower on
Right.
everything and taking that step into darker more underground or more extreme music and stuff. I'm all about it and
Yeah,
I'll
it's weird thinking that the kids that were watching Incantation or whoever in the mid '80s to the early '90s, their kids are the ones that are coming to shows now. You know what I mean? That's
yeah
fucking weird.
and and it's There's a couple. Another thing that's really funny too, because like my perception on a lot of stuff, since I'm older and I grew up with this stuff, is different than like other people's perception. Because a lot of these bands, they'll get bigger or something, and they'll get kind of a following. But I'll like remember like this dude, like, oh, that's the dude that used to be like, used to bitch about death metal and listen to Metallica or something like that
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time. And then now they're Mister like, "Ugh, so fucking
Yeah,
bad."
yeah, 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 yeah. Of
And,
course.
and it's like it's so funny because I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, it's cool that they like it or whatever, and try to pretend that they never were like just a regular metalhead like
Right, right.
everybody else. But it's weird sometimes. Like sometimes
Well,
I still see these people as like you know the younger version or whatever. I don't see them. I don't always see them as the newer, the most brutal, evil person that ever existed.
right.
Whatever.
Well,
That
even
I told you
those.
back in the day. One thing I wanted to bring up. One
Yeah.
thing back in the day when we used to play shows with Incantation, I remember one show I was wearing I think it probably Possessed Seven Churches shirt, and then these kids came up to me and like, "Oh man, yeah, you guys are killer, but why do you like all that old shit?" And this was like back in like '90 or something like that,
That's funny.
And then I was just like, dude, fucking without Possessed, like we wouldn't exist.
Right,
And
right. Yeah, that's
then like the
funny.
next show I go to like a couple months, probably a couple months later or something, I'm wearing a Carcass Sympathies of Sickness shirt, and they're
Yeah.
looking at me like, what the fuck are you wearing this new stuff for? You should only like the old school stuff. And I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah. You can't win, man.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
dude,
just
that's
like,
that's hilarious. Well, and there's another. I guess I'll get your perspective on this, but uh, to me, there was a lot of people that obviously dropped out or have really nothing to do with the underground anymore. It don't even listen to it, or we're in bands, and yeah, we made a fucking demo in '87, and then or whatever, and then they're gone. It's like, how can you just throw that away? How can you not even listen to it anymore? I mean, obviously, to me, that's the definition of a fucking poser.
yeah,
But there's so many people that do that, where it's like, okay, cool, you made a demo in '87, but where the fuck have you been since '87? I don't see you doing anything other than that. I mean, there's people that this is to the grave. You know what I mean. You're taking there's nothing that's going to change that. Whether it be I had a family. Well, all right, you can't fucking listen to music with kids around. I don't. I've never understood that. You know, when people say that.
what? Yeah, that's really stupid, because it's like I mean, I some people just are trendy. It really sucks because there's a lot of people that I looked up to when I got my quote unquote education in metal. Um, one of them was this radio station WMSC. We had at Upper Montclair State College, and they used to have this show like Saturday, like Metal Saturdays, and Witching Hour was like the hour where they would play like the Venom and Hellhammer and Bathory kind of stuff, and it really got me into like a lot of that stuff pretty early on as a kid.
Yeah.
And oh, I can't remember what his name was. His name was see, I'm bad with names. Something Corey. Jim
Oh,
Corey.
Jim Collins.
No, it was Corey.
Oh,
Corey was his last name.
oh,
He was part of like this old metal crew. There was like a bunch of like Bor and all these people were like really into the underground metal scene this time, and he was kind of I think part of those group of people. But anyway, it's like yeah, he like told like did the show, was like super influential on like me getting into like really dark and evil, satanic kind of stuff or whatever. And
yeah.
then I looked him up online recently, and he's like a born again Christian, and he has like he tries to deny everything. He has like nothing to do with metal at all.
Wow. Yeah, yeah,
the,
yeah,
the dude that like gave me the fuel to like
yeah.
want to worship Satan every day of my life, as a kid.
It's kind of
And now
disappointing. Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of a bummer to
Yeah.
see that,
Totally. Totally.
because
Yeah. I mean,
I
like
don't,
even me in high school, the people that I go to, there's like me and two other dudes still really into it. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
mean, I grew up in a small town, but I've to me, those that even if you don't have to be in a band, but I
No,
mean, you
you like
somehow,
music.
if you're involved somehow, to me, that's not, I don't know how to say it. I don't not good enough, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I think it's normal to. I mean, if you like music, you like fucking music. I mean,
Yeah,
no one, not everyone has to be in a fucking band anyway. Who says that?
yeah. Please don't.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, don't
It's
start a
like
band.
it's good to just be a fan of it, and it's like, and
Totally,
it's hard for me to believe that because like the teenage years are usually the sweet spot for like the music that we like for the rest of our lives. I mean, we might get
totally.
into maybe other things, but that sweet spot in our teens is great. So I can't picture like, somebody being like, a massive tape trader back in the 80s or something never gets the urge to put on, yeah, like I don't know, some fucking Accused or something, or some
Yeah,
kind, or
just anything.
some
You
old
know what I
Morgan
mean?
Angel demos or something. You just think that you would just have that urge because that was part of like who you were as a person. So it's
Yeah,
really
I just
strange if people like disavow their music and just say like, oh, now I'm into country or something. It's like, well, even if you are into country, it's like you still could listen to the first
yeah, yeah,
Backward
yeah.
album.
Yeah, it's weird, like really fucking loving something and then just all of a sudden, I don't, whatever. So to me, you didn't really love it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree.
it's,
I
uh,
agree. So
you
some
know,
people are like that. I mean, you get that in music anyway, where people
yeah,
they want to be cool, so they get into the music.
yeah, trend hoppers,
They
yeah,
really love it. I've noticed people like that. But it's been crazy because most of the kids that I grew up with, a lot of them that were musicians, at least, did things that are pretty, is still kind of metal uh, influence and stuff. Like I have Keith Huckins, who plays was a dead guy now, and he was a friend of ours, and people like I still see like Henry from Revenant around sometimes. I still
yeah. I
see.
saw a photo with you with them the other day, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then
Yeah,
other people in our circle, like I don't know. It's it's kind of crazy, but like the guys who play in a Dog Eat Dog, like that metal, kind of like a metal rap band or whatever, they were kind of part of our underground circle, and even though that they're like really far away from what I would like, and I wasn't into like the stuff they were doing with
yeah.
that. The earlier bands were actually really good. That really a lot of them played in bands or playing like the old Metallica covers and Exodus covers and Slayer covers. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
those guys, they're still around. I mean, they're playing, their kind of music. They play Dog Eat Dog, but they're also still like metalhead fans too, where they still dig, the old stuff or whatever that they like, which is it's just cool to see that some of
Yeah,
the people that we grew up with, they do still like the music that we grew up with and stuff. They weren't total posers like other people are, where they're just like, oh, I grew out of it or something like that. That's
yeah, 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 yeah.
what do you mean,
I've
bro?
never,
You go out of enjoying music?
yeah, yeah. I've never understood that shit. But yeah, man. Uh, speaking of, well, there's what's the guy's name? Ed Farsty. Ed Farsty.
Yeah,
I mean, that guy is putting. He's still deep into it. He's putting these fests together, and that's the kind of people that
it's
he.
great.
I don't think he's ever been in a band
No,
that I right, but he's still deeply in it. He's still doing what he can to be involved in what he's loved since he was a fucking preteen. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of people that I
yeah,
have total respect for.
yeah, I agree. I mean, Ed Farsi's great. I mean, as soon as I started playing, I probably in Revenant was the time when I was playing in Revenant was the first time that I really got to know him because he was doing Book of Armageddon magazine back then, and I remember, you know, just seeing him at shows, and he would do interviews with us and stuff. And then what is it? He also he put out. I didn't play on it, but he put out the first Revenant 7-inch on what was his label?
Rage,
Rage. Yeah, it was
yeah,
Rage Record.
yeah, I got it over there somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, it was right before. It was right a little bit before I quit the band is when he put it out. But I mean, he was there early on doing that, and then he worked at, I think he worked at Roadrunner for a while as like I don't even know what he did at Roadrunner, probably PR or something
yeah,
like that. So he's been like involved in the music industry for years, but never
yeah,
played in a band. And it's just great because these days, he does his Armageddon Fest as and he does it out of the love of music. It's not like I doubt he makes money on any of them, but he does it because he loves, having bands that he likes, and he likes promoting the scene. He just had If there were more people like that in the underground that were a little more selfless and not just greedy
Yeah.
fucks, it would be a better place for sure. Because he doesn't care either. Like if he doesn't have to prove himself to be like how
No,
underground I am or how cool. He just fucking does what he does, and if you like it, like
exactly.
it. If you don't, fuck off. And that's metal as fuck in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, Rays of Armageddon. Yeah, him and Joe Pupo. Joe Pupo's been
He's down
he's
there
been
everywhere,
a
right?
Houstonian. Yeah, he's a Houstonian now. But
Yeah.
yeah, both of those guys. I still
Yeah,
see Joe
yeah,
around.
they were buddies back then. It was
Yep.
almost like you see Ed and Joe all the time together going to shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just local friends or if they met through the record companies. I don't know. I can't remember, but I remember seeing them all the time. I remember actually that show that I seen Troy from Syndrome at. I drove out there with Ed Varsity and Joe Pupo and
Yeah.
I think Immolation guys and a couple other some of the early Incantation guys like Brett Makowski. I think went with us. I can't remember. Yeah, it was yeah. Ed Varsity's definitely a stand-up dude, and I love working with him. He helped us out
Yeah, dude.
with the first two Carolina Chainsaw Fest that we
Yeah.
did, and because when I was trying to think of people who I wanted to work with for that, he was like one of the first names that can't come up because I know he does it for the love of music and he knows all these bands already. So
Yep.
it would be a really comfortable thing. And he was a big help. We didn't have him do this version because this is a kind of a little bit more slimmed down version of the fest, and we don't have the budget to fly him out to do it. But
Yeah.
I love,
Yeah. So what is
great.
we kind of briefly touched on it. What is you want to talk a little bit about this? This is on Valentine's Day. Look, yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's Valentine's version of it. It just, well, we want basically the Chapel of Bones people wanted to help us with the fest to get it back off our feet because the first two fests were great and stuff, but they were a fucking huge money pit, and it kind of fucked me a little bit on stuff, and I wasn't able to do it the next couple of years. So we're
Right.
doing this version of it to help get us kind of back on track. And once we played with Macabre in Brazil at a fest, a September Negro Fest there, and I was just like, "Fuck, dude!" It was so good, and I was just like, "Man, that'd be so cool to get fucking Macabre to play in fucking North Carolina or at our fest and stuff." And it fits with the
Yeah.
whole serial killer thing, with the horror thing,
Totally. Yeah.
and yeah, and it's cool. I mean, we're basically doing a just a smaller version of the same fest. I mean, we're still going to have
Yeah.
the same kind of horror vibe and just some vendors, a lot of stuff going on, like a
That's
kind of a
cool.
mixture between like a show and like a mini con kind of vibe or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I mean,
That's cool,
it's
man.
definitely if this goes well, it's going to give us the opportunity to continue to do the fest. And if it does like shit, it probably won't. So let's see what happens. But and for me, it's like if people are interested in it and want to support the cause, it's a good thing. I mean, it's a great thing for North Carolina to have something like this because we do have a good scene there, but we just don't always have people willing to invest in bigger kind of fest kind of things instead of just
Right.
regular shows. So we still have a vision of bringing the Carolina Chainsaw Massacre as you know a full size fest to North Carolina, and it's not something it's not it's not a money making scheme. It would be the worst money making scheme ever, but it's more we do it for the love of metal, and also just we really love the scene here. I mean, I've moved here, I've got nothing but support from the locals here and stuff,
Sweet.
and I have a lot of pride in the stuff that myself and my wife have been doing in the metal scene here. So it's kind of our way to kind of celebrate with the locals, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. That's something that I think I mean, I know I'm really proud of.
Yeah. Well, if anybody, there you go. It's February 14th. Go out, check it out. I mean, Macabre and Incantation. Come on.
Yeah,
So actually, you know what? I don't know what days you're going to be there or what, but you and I and Macabre are playing the same fest this summer.
Oh, we are. Cool.
Yes.
Oh,
So I have a
oh,
band, my
you're
band
doing,
ETD.
yeah,
We're like an old grindcore style band.
yeah, yeah.
We're playing Obscene Extreme.
That's right. I'm doing it with, yeah, Seasons of the Dead. That's
Yes,
awesome.
exactly. And that's what I was going to bring up next. Let's you see how fucking professional I'm getting over here, dude? I'm fucking, segueing and shit. But anyway,
Wait, you're getting good at this. Wow.
dude. Well, let's not get carried away. I'm not fucking good at it. But this right here, let's talk about this because this kind of popped up somewhat out of nowhere. I know you had done like a song at one point,
Yeah.
and a lot of people still are kind of unsure what this is about. If you care to explain what is going on with Season of the Dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it came together because we, it was some of the ex Necrophagia guys wanted to put out, the final material that Killjoy was working on with the band, and that's how I ended up being involved in that Morbus Grimm song that he did
Yeah,
there. I mean, I, it was tough because I was like, fuck, you want me to do a song with like, not just, I mean, Killjoy was a friend of mine, but he also was like a super big influence on me.
yeah,
I mean, those early demos, especially, were very inspirational back, when I was starting off playing and stuff. So, um, yeah, I was asked to do that, and it was like super. I was super honored to do it. I was fucking nervous as fuck, but we ended up doing that song, and it actually came out pretty good. I was really happy with the way it sounded. And it was just really was a sentimental thing for me because dude, dude passed away, and it was like, we were over the last like say 5 years of his life, we becoming better and better friends and stuff like that. So yeah, it was definitely really sucked. The situation. But then after after we did it, there was just a lot of talk about us trying to do something. Some of the guys trying to do more music in that vein, kind of honoring the necrophagia style and do the horror thing. And basically, Tita and Guillermo from both of them play in different versions of that ghoul band, not ghoul, when I say um, Goblin band, and you know, I was definitely a big fan of like the horror movie Goblin stuff, so I thought that was super cool to be working with them. We just became friends from doing the necrophagia thing, and then they kind of wrote some music, and I decided, they asked me, do I want to sing on some of the songs, and I was like, yeah, I'll sing on some of it. I mean, it was pretty much just like they just sent me the material, and I just kind of they gave me a basic outline, they gave me some lyrics and stuff, and I kind of did my interpretation of it, and I wanted to keep it kind of in the necrophagia ish type vocal style and stuff. So I did a lot more stuff that I don't normally do with Incan and stuff. But for
yeah,
me, it was like super fun to be able to express myself in a different way vocally, where not that I feel limited by incantation by any means, but it's like I wanted to see, like, can I do this, can I do these like ridiculously high grotesque type screams and stuff like that, and ended up working out really good. It's something that I'm super proud of that I was able to accomplish, and we're trying to do more stuff with it. It's basically a or the show. We did play some shows in Italy. What was it, like last? Was it, must have been last summer, and they were kind of like just to see if like the vibe works between everybody, and it worked out really well. And we basically played, it was before the album came out, so the whole set was all necrophagia songs that we played. So basically we were doing it as a cover band, a necrophagia cover band, which I was totally fine with because I love necrophagia. So I was like, this, it's a blast to do it, and it's always great to honor Killjoy's life. And I for me, he was a big influence, but I do feel that Killjoy never got the recognition he deserves. And honestly, Killjoy was one of those people, like you could say a Chuck Schuldiner or a Cam Lee, that were part of the fundamentals of what
Right.
all of us do, and but he barely gets put into conversation just because he never had, say, a super huge album or whatever, but he's been true to himself and always done what he wanted to do and not follow the trend. So because he didn't follow a trend, sometimes you don't get the recognition you deserve. But for us, it's like we're all about, giving credit to where credit's due from the way we see it. And yeah, I love doing it, and we're going to do the Obscene Extreme. We're going to try to do a couple other shows while we're out there. We want to try to play some stuff in the States too, which is it's complicated these days to get visas and stuff like that, especially for a band like us, because we're not like super big or anything, but it's just we just want to play some good shows and have a fun time. And if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't. But it's something that we wanted to do, and we do it in cooperation with Killjoy's family too, because we want to make sure that they know that this is coming from a place of respect and love for Killjoy and his music. Not, I mean, trust me, it's another thing where this is like a really bad way to make a good financial decision in life. All I need is another band that it isn't super big or anything. I mean,
Right.
but I play music because I love playing music. It's not about the money or that kind of shit. It's just and for me to be able to expand myself into a little bit different direction with the Seasons of the Dead stuff, for me it was fun to do. It's good to mix up.
Yeah.
And I liked the more I could contribute with other people's music or approach things from a different angle is just fun for me as a musician, especially doing stuff in an old school kind of way or something, like, because like I said, back in the day, even though we played really brutal death metal, especially early on, it was like super super raw and everything, which is
Yeah.
great. But a lot of stuff I grew up with was, yeah, like you said, like stuff like Accused and Macabre and all these other bands that were playing, like, it wasn't just like one thing was good. It was like all this stuff was good. All
Yeah.
these different, like I like the old Mr. Bungle demo, the Rage and Wrath, the Easter Bunny, stuff, just like weird stuff too, is always fun to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. Well, if no, well, let's play a tune. If you guys haven't heard this, I'm going to play a Season of the Dead song right now, so we can jam out and John could get a drink of water because he's probably got a fucking dry from all the fucking talking. But
Yeah.
here's a song called "Open the Gates,"
Mhm.
and we're gonna jam it out right now, and we'll come back after the song's over. All right, so check it out. Season of All right, there you go. Open
Hell
the
yeah.
gates. Very dark and haunting. I guess very horror movie
Yeah,
sounding.
well, that fits exactly into
Yeah.
the necrophagia kind of vibe. Plus, like I said, the main songwriters in that are work on music that is in horror movies and stuff. So it's almost like taking their talent in writing horror type music and turning it into more death metal-ish type vibe or whatever. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think it's something that just needs to get out there a little more, for people to witness it. It's hard these days to get noticed with this kind of with any newer band these days, but I hope that more people will check it out and dig it and stuff. So I have a fun time. I had a fun time being a part of it. They're great people in the band, and I had a hope to play a lot more shows with them for sure. It'd be a blast.
So where can one get that? Is that available to
Yeah.
purchase?
Well, right now, I mean, I'm sure some other mail orders have it, but I mean, Time to Kill Records out of Italy is the one that put it out, and I think it's a Night Shift Records is doing some of their mail order for them in the States. So,
Oh, okay.
so that you can go to them, and they probably I I don't know for sure if they have t-shirts. I mean, Night Shift is mostly a t-shirt company, from what I know. So they probably have t-shirts and vinyl and CDs for. But the last time I seen, that's where they were promoting it to get it in the States. So yeah, hopefully they check it out. People
Cool.
check
Yeah.
it.
So Night Shift Records, right? That's what you said. Night
Yeah, I think
Shift.
it's Night Shift. I don't know if it's Night Shift Records or Night Shift something. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Night Shift. Kind of like working on the night shift. Right?
Yeah, yes, it's Night Shift merch. It is okay.
Night Shift merch. All right. So if you want to get
Or
you
Night
some,
Shift Records too. It has. I see
okay,
both ways. They were smart. They have both.
dude. So one of the times you were on the show, you mentioned it. It's funny how sometimes what bands that you mentioned stick with people.
Yeah. Wow.
There's this kid
Taste.
Benji that there's this kid Benji. Yeah, he mentioned it was like that is about as underground as you could possibly get. Whoppers taste good, right? The demo, but he fucking loves it, dude. So he's mentioned them a couple of times. It's funny how what bands will stick with certain people. When you mention them, it's like
Yeah, I
uh,
think they were just some band that I think I seen in this fanzine called Total Thrash. And it was this dude Scott. I can't remember Scott something or other Helig or something out of
yeah.
Philly. He I think he had like I think it was in that magazine. It's hard to remember, but I remember just like a review of the album or whatever. And back then I was just such an underground fiend that I just would write to every single band in there
Yeah.
in this magazine, and that was one of them. And I think I traded a Revenant demo for the Whoppers Taste Good demo.
There you go. Fuck yeah. I mean I love those bands that had that were brutal and had that sense of humor. Like
Yes,
Spastic Blur, Old Lady Drivers.
yes,
Shit like that, right? Shit rules.
yeah.
Sticky
Fairmont
and
had that, yeah.
Wehrmacht. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Great,
Um,
yeah, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, that it was fun because back then too, you could have like that humorous kind of band, but still be brutal and not have to worry about everybody having an aneurysm if something is a little offensive.
right. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally, totally. Let me see. What was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, so look up Night Shift. Look up that
Yeah,
if you want to check out that Seasons of the Dead stuff. I don't know. I've
yes,
seen a lot of you fucking dig it, so go check that out. And hope. I mean, I should be there every night. So at OEF, so we should be able to be there and check you guys out. So that's gonna be cool at OEF. So.
okay, cool, awesome.
So yeah, it'd be cool. So we're gonna be in fucking Czech Republic together, dude. How fucking stupid is that? At least
Yes,
for
that's
me,
great.
anyway.
I'm happy you guys got on it. That's what I love that Kirby dude. He's so cool because
He's
he
the best, dude.
really he really does his homework and he really brings interesting bands to it. Like it's he doesn't just bring. I mean, he brings in some big names, some really cool popular bands, but
Yeah.
he also finds some really cool bands that you never even heard of before, and he has his pulse on the scene really good.
Yeah.
He's a great
His
dude.
thing. That's exactly his thing. He goes, dude. I want the underground bands that I think that I like first of all, and that I think you know why not? Why not them play a big fucking fest? You know what I mean? And yeah, you'll get headliners and all that, but for the most part, it's a huge underground fest. It's what it
Yeah.
is. No promote, no sponsors, none of that shit. I think the town is like really helpful. I think they
Yeah.
help him out a lot, but I'm sure the town has a lot of makes a lot of money during that fucking week from all the
Oh,
people being
it's
so it's like whatever we need to do to help you out, we'll fucking do it. You know what I mean?
it's just yeah, it's this little Czech town, and it's just like it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Those
Well, you
four.
guys have played, right? In
Oh
Can?
yeah, yeah. We played it a bunch of times, and it
Yeah.
might be up to four different times we played it. I can't remember for
Yeah.
sure, but we played a lot. I mean, the Kirby, the main guy that runs it, he's been just an underground friend and fan for so long. So you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
I have I have a lot of respect for him because it's easy to do, if you have money to do like, these big fests with all these big names or whatever, but he gives so many bands an option. Even when I was doing the Ibex Moon Records stuff, he would talk, if it was possible, he would toss on a couple bands from our
Yeah.
label on there, just, which I really appreciate the fact that he would give us, because some of the other festivals are just like, nope, you have to be, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
super trendy or popular, but it's like he has a true underground spirit, and then he
Totally.
does it his
Totally.
way. He's always done it his way. He doesn't give a fuck, which is great.
Yeah, and he pretty much. I know he's got his help and his fucking
Yeah,
people that help him out and but he yeah I first I've known him through the mail when he and I used to do labels like
yeah,
in like the mid '90s. So
yeah.
I've known him a long time and met him once. He came to Maryland Death Fest one year and
Yeah.
I met him like one of the couple times I went and he happened to show up and yeah, super nice guy. I mean, he's been in contact with me and just trying to make sure everything's good to go and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be fucking cool. When I saw, I was like, oh shit, John's. I didn't know you guys were doing shows, and when I saw it, I was like, oh cool, And then I saw Macabre's playing. I was like, oh cool.
It's
So
gonna it's always a fun time there. It's like the shows are killer because the people that go there, they're just ready to party and have a good time, Plus,
yeah,
and the same thing, like backstage, it's just a big party. Everyone's just having a good time, and it's a great vibe. It's probably, I mean, it's definitely in the top couple fests that we like doing, out of all of them. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there, but Obscene Extreme is something really special, And
yeah.
I
I
like
mean, from what I've seen, and he, I guess. Well, I mean, it's in a small fucking town village. But the people that are there, they're all from not. They're from all over the world, so they're ready to fucking. You know what I mean? They're ready to have a good time.
Yeah, and the
So
people, and the thing is a lot of people that go there, they have a good dedication to it. Like our merch person that we work with in Europe, Coro, he goes every year that he possibly can go. He goes, obviously for the bands and the music, but also just to hang and stuff like that. I think last year, matter of fact, they had Disharmonic Orchestra, I think, played last year, if I
oh
remember
shit,
correctly, which I was super pumped about because I think that's because I remember after that show, Coro got him to play a fest that he does in Bucharest, Romania, and
oh shit.
I was super pumped because I hope I get to see Disharmonic Orchestra again because I haven't seen those guys since we played shows with them back in like I don't know
Yeah, I
92.
think they came to the U.S. in '90.
Something was at 90. Yeah, I think it was 90.
Yeah,
That was the last time
yeah.
I talked to
It's
those
cool
guys.
that they're. I didn't know they were doing shit, and also Martin from Pungent Stench. I guess he and the bass player, I think, are doing like old Pungent Stench stuff, which is cool.
Please, Pungent
Uh,
Strength. Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. Yeah, he comes out every now and then. It was nice. not the last time, but the time before that, we played in Vienna. He showed up to the show, which was really nice to see
Oh,
him. You know,
nice. Talking about
Mark.
Martin from Pungent.
Yeah, we toured with them in the U.S. back in the day a couple times, so it's like we have a good, we have a lot of great memories, and for me, especially when we toured with them back, I think it must have been '92 because right after Onward to Golgotha came out, we did some dates with them in the States, and I was, you just think like we're putting out our first album, and then we get to play with fucking Pungent Stench on tour. That was just like so fucking cool, and they were super nice.
Ah,
We became good friends with them all. We just clicked right from the beginning, which is awesome.
yeah, totally, totally. I mean, both have that, that drive and that underground fucking spirit. Yeah, it's funny because my band is playing and somebody made a comment and made me fucking laugh. He goes, "Dude, y'all are playing that fucking fest and you've played what, like 4 shows?" I'm like, I was like, yeah, maybe together. Yeah, it's funny. We have, by the time we play there, we may have like 7 shows under our belt, but collectively as a band, we've all been playing since like, at least the early '90s and shit. You know what I
Yeah, we
mean?
guys
So
have you put in your time. It's like the good thing about the underground is like if you're cool and you like just support the scene and stuff like that for a while. So every once in a while you get a fucking a cool treat from it. Like all that
yeah,
work pays off in its own way. And I think Kirby is it's cool that Kirby recognized that and giving you guys a shot. I think that's
yeah,
fucking
it's gonna be fun as fuck. I'm sure, but well, it's earlier, and I was gonna follow up, but you mentioned about getting and being around. That's what I always say. If you're around a while, cool things are gonna fucking happen.
yeah.
If you don't just leave and like the people we were talking about earlier, that just fucking just give up and leave. But you mentioned getting to work with Killjoy, who was one of your biggest influences, and I could tell the way you're talking about him. It's kind of like things that happen like to me and other people, where it's like, oh fuck, I can't believe like Steve-O from Impetigo is like doing vocals on one of my songs, kind of that thing. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the cool shit. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, talking about Steve-O, yeah. I mean, I was just hanging out with Henry, and we were talking about Steve-O and was it Mark um,
yeah,
back in the day with Impetigo. I mean, those guys were like super involved in the scene and stuff like that. I remember getting their first demo was "All We Need Is Cheese" demo back in the day.
yeah,
That was fucking awesome, and those. I mean, they were cool. I mean, Steve-O, I think yeah, it was Steve-O. He used to do artwork, so he used to
yeah.
draw like some stuff for my band Revenant and our friend's band Regurgitation back then. Like some of the
Oh yeah, he did
artwork.
the demo cover. Yeah,
Yeah, we did the demo covers for that. And
yeah.
I haven't seen Steve-O for years too. Last time was at CIM when they played their the Impetigo set at
Yeah,
CIM, but it's crazy, but that's already probably 20 years ago or whatever.
yeah, I know. Well, I don't know if you guys play Louisville, but he's in Louisville these days.
That's right. Right. I did see him. I did see him in Louisville one time. He came to our show there, which was super awesome. Steve was
Yeah,
such a great. It was a funny story. I might have told you this somewhere along the line, but he used to say that every morning before he went to work back in like the early '90s, he would listen to. He'd have his little turntable in the bathroom, and he would play the Entrapment of Evil 7-inch. And he said, well, when side one was over, it was time for him to like say put the shampoo in his hair or something. Then he put side two on and he'd be done with the shower. So, like worked the perfect time for a shower listening to the Entrapment of Evil demo or 7 or whatever. That was
well,
awesome.
and he and Mark are still into it, dude. They're still,
Yeah.
checking things out and listening to this. They're not those people that fucking abandon ship. You know what I mean? They're still
Yeah.
heavily into it. So
Yeah. And it's always nice to see people like that because those are the people that were like us old school fucks knew back in the early day. So it's always nice to see them, and
yeah,
it was just it's a good vibe. There's like this is weird underground connection that
yep,
like a lot of us that were in the tape trading scene and just the early stages of this kind of music, and there's just some weird connection, but it just like somehow we're on the same page. You know, it was almost like with Macabre when I haven't seen them for quite a while, probably 10 years, if not more,
Yeah.
before we played in Brazil. And like half the time in Brazil, I'm just sitting around. We're just like tossing the bull with those guys, and it felt like nothing even changed. You know, like we were just
Yeah.
a bunch of young kids just babbling about,
Yeah, that's
old
fucking
old
yeah, it's cool
times,
as shit.
fun times, or whatever. It's fun, you know.
Yeah, it's cool as shit. Now you have a show coming up. I'm going to mention this show because you're playing Pensacola.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, so my friends Hexea and are playing that show, and they're playing with you guys. But I think I saw you a post that you hadn't played like that area in what 20 years or something.
Something like that, yeah. I can't remember. I There used to be a place in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, we used to play, which I think was kind of in the Pensacola, Tallahassee area. But we played all those places, but just like, man, I don't even remember the last time. It was a long time ago that we played there. So I'm super pumped to finally get back to play there. I mean, it's way overdue, and I think it's great that they're putting on shows there because
Yeah,
you know it's always nice to see like a new place, somebody who's involved in the underground to make something happen. So that's
yeah,
I'm pumped for it. Yeah, we're really excited to do that,
yeah. So anybody
and
in that area better
yeah,
go because Incantation doesn't play there. Maybe they'll come back in 20 years, but yeah, you might want to go check that show out. So yeah, no, it's cool, man. Like I said, my friends are playing that shit, and the other band, other friends from Houston are also playing that Merciless Savagery. It's like all female, like black thrash band.
oh,
Uh,
nice, nice.
so they're on that bill as well. The other bands I don't really know, uh, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I remember when JD said, I was like, oh shit, you guys are playing with Incantation. That's cool. So
Yeah, I'm
that should be
pumped
fun.
about it. It's gonna be great. We're Yeah, we leave what mid next week for the show, so we're super pumped for it. Just getting ready for it now. Yeah, I did want to bring it up, so thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Somebody mentioned, are you? I guess I missed this, but do you have an upcoming tour with Belfagor or something?
Yep, we do. It's us, Belfagor, Hate, and Necrotic Wasteland, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're I think we're playing Houston on that one. We're playing. I think we have. I can't remember if it's San Antonio, Houston, and like Dallas or
Yeah,
something like that. Well, I played a couple Texas shows in this one. It's not just like the major markets, I guess. But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, you know, really, we're friends with all those bands. I mean, Necrotic Wasteland has Dallas used to play with Nile, so we've known him for quite a while, just from Nile, and then Hate. Hate. It's fun. A story that's funny with Hate is that we when I was filling in for Immolation in '99, we toured Europe with them, and I watched Hate play. It was before they were black metal; they were more like death metal. I'd say it would be closer to like a Vader or something like that. They sounded like, and I remember my friend, what was his label? I can't remember now, but it was a dude who used to play in Necrophagia LA. He had a late. Oh, it was the one that put out all those cover albums. Joel, I think not Joel. I don't know. Anyway, I got them their first U.S. record deal back in the early 2000s or whatever. Because I remember the main guy Adam hitting me up or whatever and asked me if I knew some labels, and I just happened to be talking to the Joel record guy. I'm like, oh, hit up Joel Records. He's looking for some stuff, and so it's kind of been friends with him and the guys in Hate for a long time, so that's really cool. And then Belfagor too, you know, since we played a Brutal Assault Festival, another cool one in Czech Republic. The first time we
oh
played,
yeah,
we got to meet the Belfagor guys, and it was a lot of fun. Back then, though, they were super crazy. I wasn't really hanging out with them, but that was when what's his name, Vincent Crowley was filling in for us on vocals, but so between Mike Sayas doing
oh
vocals
shit,
and him leaving the band, and before I joined, I mean not joined, but before I decided to do vocals,
yeah,
Vincent Crowley did a couple tours with us just because I wasn't ready yet. And yeah, I think Kyle and Vincent Crowley and the Belfagor guys probably got themselves in a lot of trouble from what I remember back then. smashing things or whatever at the hotel, which wasn't nice. But but anyway, yeah, we've been friends with Belfagor for a while, so it's always nice to play with those guys.
And when does this start?
It starts, I think, uh, I
It
can't
starts
remember.
at incantation.com. Can they see find the dates there?
Yeah, see it there. Let me,
There you go.
yeah, it starts on the 18th in New York City. We're playing the
Oh
Monarch
wow.
in New York
Okay.
City.
All
So
right.
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a killer tour, and they have a new album out, and it's they're ready to kill posers. We're ready to kill posers, so it's gonna be a blast, you know.
So yeah, incant. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I have it there on the ticker. There. Go to incantation.com for all your incantation needs. Right.
Yes.
For all your incantation needs and wants, and go there. Um, I didn't know Vincent Crowley did. I guess I don't know. I guess I was asleep during that time, but I didn't know he was even involved with the band.
Yeah, well, at that time, Kyle was playing drums for Asheron, and we weren't planning on having them do it long term, but it was just like we had a tour. We had a tour that we were doing. I want to say it was around it was around the Blasphemy album,
Yeah.
and Mike Sayers did vocals on the album, but I don't know if you heard the story or not, but he ended up. We were before that. It was on the Infernal Storm album tour. We played a show in Queens, New York, and our vocalist at the time, Mikey, got stabbed at the show in the arm, trying to break up a fight between his friend and somebody
Oh
else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I heard that
So,
story.
so after that, he kind of took the wind out of his sails as far as playing and touring at the time. So he offered to do the Blasphemy album with us because I wasn't ready to do vocals yet
Yeah.
at that time. But then for touring, we didn't have anybody to do vocals for, so we asked Vincent Crowley to do the first couple tours, and he did. I mean, he did a good job. It was fun because it was just something totally different. I don't know. Some people would hear it, probably think it sucks. Some people probably thinks it's cool and interesting. For me, I thought it was cool and interesting just because he wasn't trying to sound like Craig or Daniel or whoever. He was
Yeah.
trying to do his own thing, which he's really good at. So, I was like, oh, it'd be cool. I I look at it like it's just like a special treat for some Incan fans that came out to those shows. We see us in a way that they're never gonna probably see us again.
Yeah.
Way, even though the music was all the same, just his vocals. I mean, just picture. I mean, if you listen to Asheron, his vocals sound nothing like incantation vocals.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun to do. But
Hold on. Here's a funny comment. Hold on. Is my buddy Rich from New York. I wore an incantation long sleeve on a flight, and another passenger got mad at me in Vegas.
that's great. Yeah,
He's still pissing people off. That's
yeah,
fucking funny.
that's good. If we're pissing people off, then we know we're doing the right thing.
Well, my buddy Ralph from Honda says Mike Saez lives in his neighborhood. Hey, tell Mike we said hello.
Yes, yeah, Mike's a great guy. It's so nice. He still comes out to the shows every now and then and hangs out, and he's just a good dude. He really is. It's so sad what happened to him. And yeah, I played Death Ruin, someone listed there, and yeah, and also the so someone mentioned what do you think about the band Blood Incantation too? So I figured I'd bring it
Oh,
up.
I didn't see that.
I'm not a super huge fan or anything, but I do actually get along with the guys and stuff. And it's funny because there was some misconception that there was an issue between both bands or whatever. And it was
Oh
just
yeah.
funny because one day I just contacted the dude and was just like, is there a fucking problem? Like if there's a problem, like let's fucking talk about it. Cause I really don't have a problem. Like you have your band, I have our band, and it's all good. You guys
Yeah.
are doing good and it's cool. And no, he hit me up and he was like, no, I thought you guys were mad at us, and and vice versa, you know. And I'm like, no, we're not mad at you, and you're not mad at us. So it's like, why are we mad at each other? I don't really get it. So it ended up actually, being pretty cool because we ended up kind of, I just stepped up. I get kind of pissed sometimes because people like to start shit and just try to be dicks about stuff or whatever. And it's like, if you like
Yeah.
the band, like I don't care if someone likes us or likes them more or whatever. Like, who gives a crap? It's like
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever if you like them or don't like them. But it's just funny because if for a couple of years people would try to like, you know, dig at us to try to get me to say some shit on them or whatever. But it's
Yeah,
like, I
yeah, of course.
don't know the band barely. I mean, I have nothing against them. I mean, good for them. I mean, and once talking to them, they said they named the band Blood Incantation, because they were fans of Incantation and the band Blood, and they didn't realize it was going to become a big thing. So I was like, well, that's nice. I mean, I appreciate that. I'm happy you like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what you get for talking to that one guy. It's funny you mentioned that because there was a lot of stupid shit that happened. That like people were taking things the wrong way. Things that you said, like the thing about bands, like all they were worried about was playing fast, and then people were getting their fucking feelings hurt. It's like, man, come on, man, you're supposed to be evil underground death metal. Where'd all these fucking wimp attitudes come from? All of a sudden,
Yeah,
you know.
it blew my mind because it was just like, yeah, it it doesn't make any sense whatsoever because first of all, I didn't say like, you know, anything. If you like it, that's cool. That's your thing, but there's like enough room in the metal world for bands like us that, like to focus on being more raw and, you know, muddy and dirty and,
Yeah.
embrace that. And then there's room for bands that want to be more tight. And hey, if your music works good, having it clicked out or however you want it, that's great. I mean, what the fuck is it doesn't really affect me at all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just because it's not my thing. What does it matter? I can't
Yeah.
like every fucking band out there,
No, no. I
but
mean,
it's
you
like I
hate
don't.
more than you like.
Yeah, and it's like, but at the same time, it's like I don't like the guys in the band. I don't necessarily hate. I don't. I just might not be a fan of their
Right.
music, But it's
Totally.
like there's a lot of bands I would say that aren't my favorite bands, but I get along with the guys in the band great. So it's like it's all good. We all respect each other. Like there
Yeah.
doesn't need to be like like I guess it doesn't like they don't have to like us musically or they like vice versa. It's like just as long as they're cool or whatever and they're doing their thing, they don't
Yeah.
stop us from doing our thing. My point in that interview was that for years we used to get a lot of crap because we like doing things in a raw, more punky type way of playing death metal, more raw
Right.
edge. And there were years where we would get a lot of condescending crap from other bands and other people because we weren't following these quote unquote rules that started to become in the late 90s where you're supposed to play, everyone's trying to be at the fastest BPM and all this stuff. Like all these fucking terms, I didn't know what the fuck they were even before. Like
Right. Right.
I grew up listening to Black Flag and stuff like that, like last
Right.
thing I worry about is fucking these timing issues. Like, is the song brutal and does it piss you off?
Yeah. Exactly. If a
You know?
song makes you want to do this, that's all you need. You know what I mean? That's all you really need. So
Exactly. And
if you ever, maybe I don't do it as much anymore, but if you ever see me and I'm watching your band and I do this, that's a good
yes,
thing. You know what I mean?
it's all
It,
it's all good though. But there's just because what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be like, you know, not say anything ever? It's like if someone asks me a question or whatever, I fucking answer it. It's like it's not a big deal, and it's not against any band
right.
or anything like that. It's like whatever you do, you do
Yeah.
you. It's like
Yeah. I mean,
we,
I listen to that and I completely understood what you were saying, and I'm not the smartest guy in the fucking world, and I understood, exactly what you were getting at, and it's just some people's like, whatever. Come on, stop
yeah.
it.
When I started getting like personal messages from people bent out of shape, and I'm just like, what the
What?
fuck is going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
Like why? First of all, even if I don't like a lot of music that is really rigid like that, it's like why does it matter to you? Like it only matters what I like put on my turntable or my cassette deck or CD or
Right.
whatever at home. Whatever I want to enjoy, I enjoy. It's like just because I don't want to be part of the talent show world of music. It's like
Right.
what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. I mean, there's room for all of us. I mean, why would like Black Flag's a great example. Like you listen to Black Flag. I don't listen to Black Flag for their amazing, tight technical ability. I listen to it because I want to hear the fucking craziness. I want to hear the wackiness. I want to hear just the spastic of the music. That's what I like. I like the aggression. I like the pissed offness.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's like you mentioned earlier, what you like is what you were, what stuck with you when you were, in your teens, right? That's what you like.
But I also appreciate, like, if I see a band where the band's tight, like let's say a band like Macabre. Macabre's tight as fuck.
Yeah.
And I still like them, but I don't just like them because they're tight. Of course, being tight is part of their sound, so it's great. But I like the music because I think they're creative in their music style, and I like the aggression. I like it's fun. It's just it works for me. So there's no rule on it. It's just that
Right.
I ventured like I'd rather listen to a lot, mostly Creeping Mud, kind of death metal than I would to hear, the more technical stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to be careful because if I try to identify any band with a name, all of a sudden everyone freaks out. Like,
I know.
oh,
That's why I didn't say anything.
yeah, it's
But
like, oh, people are fucking Looney Tunes.
all right, so this is what John likes. I'm gonna play a song and then we'll come back, and I guess we're gonna end this here in a minute. With you guys got any questions, put them in the chat now. But this is I know this is one of his favorite fucking demos of all time, and they just happen to be a Texas band, and this is what John's talking about when he talks about dark, evil, muddy, and all that. This is the perfect example of that, and I'm talking about the Necrovore demo. The song Divas de Mortuus. All right, so let's jam it out. And these guys weren't counting how many fucking beats they put in their fucking song. They were just trying to create a fucking evil fucking sound and be as brutal as they could possibly be, right? That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so let's check it out. There we go. Fucking Necrovore. All right, we're back. We are back. All right. Can you hear me? Or are you frozen? You look frozen. Unless you're really good at fucking stare. Oh, there you. There you're back. Yeah, there you go. See, that made him go.
Yeah. And that, dude, every time I hear that, it gives me goosebumps. It's so
Dude,
good.
that riff. Me and Carl from fucking, Pius Levis, we always do the riff. I mean, when that shit hits, it just makes
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I just love the like the it's like
Oh
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it feels like you're all do 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 like
Total chaos.
yeah, it's just like it almost has like a demented vibe to it. Just so good, and it's such like that's for me like a musical sweet spot for me. Once I heard that demo, it was just like my life changed. I'm like, fuck, dude, I gotta, you know, everybody has to die in this world of like, demonic dementia or something.
Yep. Before I get to these questions, let me show you this real quick. So you guys get a taste of what incantation.com looks like. Look at there.
Holy
Oh wait,
crap!
there's a look at all those shirts. Oh damn, look at all those old designs.
I'm all
I
behind it.
a while
Yeah,
ago I saw there
30.
was the Onward to Golgotha, what like three LP thing. It was on here a while ago. I
Oh
don't know what
yeah,
happened to it.
yeah. There's the box set that came out. Yeah, that was really cool. Cool of Relapse to do a box set version of it. I mean, it has an old live show from back in the day, with the Golgotha lineup and stuff in there, double live thing. I mean, it's pretty underground, but it's good for the fucking
Yeah,
diehard
yeah,
people for sure. It's awesome.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
super pumped about it, and I'm honored, and it's great to have, you know, that people still dig that album and appreciate it and stuff. It's really fucking an honor
yeah,
for all of us that played on it and all in
yeah.
the band, really.
So go to incantation.com and get some stuff. Get some stuff. All
And
right.
make it go,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That way you can scare people out on the fuck at the airport. If you want to scare
yeah,
people at the airport, get an incantation shirt.
yes, for sure. Hell yeah.
Um. All right.
Sucks.
Let me get to some of these questions. I got to look at my phone
Cool.
because
So,
this stupid ass thing. What's that?
they lose you.
No, I mean I'm here. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I know. You just
Okay.
went out for a second on my side. We're all good.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me find these questions. For some reason, they were talking about Bruce Springsteen. I don't know what the hell happened there, but uh, let me see. Here's a question, John. What's a band from back in the day that you wish had gotten more recognition? Kind of a
Well,
loaded question, but
I don't know. One, I think I still think that Necrophagia should be one of those bands that should have gotten bigger. I mean, I thought, I love their demo stuff, but I thought Seasons of Dead was a great album. I mean, it wasn't typical death metal vocals on it, but I thought it was awesome. As far as other bands that might not be as, even less well known, I would say, it's hard to say because there's a bunch of bands. One that always comes to me, oh, there's two. I'm going to go with Soothsayer from Canada. To Be a Real
oh
Terrorist demo. That was a
yeah,
really great
oh
demo. Yeah,
man,
yeah. But I honestly, I think part of the problem with it was their own fault because they started to go more like metal, not metal core as in the newer metal core, but back then like more of a hardcore fun vibe, almost like a Murphy's Law type vibe. They started to have after that demo, which I think kind of screwed them up. But if they would have stayed at that aggressive, to Be a Real Terrorist demo style,
yeah,
I think they would be. They should have been huge. Also, the one I brought up on the Garza show too, Pap Smear. I love
oh
that demo
yeah, dude,
with Die Killing and stuff on it.
die
Oh,
killing.
yes, so great. But there's so many bands from that time.
Yeah,
that were really great that never really made it that far. But it's just crazy because for me they're like big bands, but everybody else they're like these obscure demo bands or something, you know?
Right. All right. Here's a question: does John garden? Do you garden? Do you plant trees? Do you plant tomatoes or anything?
I haven't been
Stupid ass.
gardening for a while. I mean, I live now in more of a townhouse. It's kind of like a condo place where we don't have to do any of the yard work. So I don't really do gardening. But when I did own my own house in Johnstown, I had to do some. I wouldn't know if I guess it's gardening because I used to have to pick the weeds out of the. We had like a vine hill in front of the house, and the weeds would always come through. So you have to go pick that, and it really sucks for me to do gardening because I have pretty bad allergies. So I always feel like crap after gardening or mowing the grass or something.
Yeah.
Back in the day, oh yeah, mowing the grass. There's a couple of
Oh.
albums I used to listen to all the time mowing the grass. One of them was the first Metal Church album. I
Oh.
remember
Wow.
mowing the
Okay.
grass to that, the dear, dear, dear,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that all the time. That and like Metallica's probably "Kill 'Em All" or something. Oh, another one too. I used to listen to a mowing song was Oz "Fire in the Brain." I used to listen to that one.
Oh. Yeah. 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 There you go. So those of you that next time you mow your lawn, John just gave you a good fucking lawn mowing playlist right there, dude.
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
go get some Oz Fire in the Brain, some Kill 'Em All, and some what was the first one? I already fucking forgot.
Metal Church, the first
Metal
album.
Church, the first Metal Church album.
That's the
This is
best.
Carl. Carl, he's a Canadian. He's a Canadian guy. He says he still has a small Pap smear shirt, but he's a 2XL now, so I guess he can't. He can't fucking fit into
I
it.
know. I had some old shirts from back then, really nice shirts, but man, I got like a medium back then, and yeah, unfortunately, I don't fit too
Yeah,
medium.
I know. All right, here's a question. Which Necrophagia album do you like the best, or which one would you put on first?
Well, it's always going to be Seasons of the Dead because that's the one that just crushed me. I mean, the fundamentals of that album were like basically like when Incantation started, it was like Possessed Seven Churches, Seasons of the Dead, early like the demo Morbid Angel or Abomination Desolation, Morbid Angel, and like Necrovore. I mean, there were other bands too, but those were kind of like the ones that were really Sarcophago too, I would say. But still, Seasons of the Dead has to be my favorite. But I mean, I was a little bit I didn't listen to some of the Necrophagia stuff as it came out, but I revisited over the years, and I really like all their stuff. I'm a lot more understanding of it before, because what happened for me is I was bummed out that they changed the style a little bit from Seasons of the Dead to the what was it, the one they did with what's his name, the Pantera dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just he'll remain nameless.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that shit on this.
Okay. Yeah.
That's down the dial, man. That's down the dial where they talk about that shit.
But listening back to it though, I think I mean that album they did with him was good. I like that album a lot actually. It has a lot of good songs on it. But at the time, I was just a little bit partial to it or whatever, you know. But if I listen to it objectively, it's a great album, and I think I like all the albums a lot. I like it's really cool. Some of them have Mariah from Psy doing these wacky keyboard parts on there and stuff, so it fits all with the good horror movie vibe. I dig it a lot. I'm a big fan of all their stuff at the moment.
Hell yeah. Oh, this is just a comment. I remember riding around on my BMX bike with a boombox roped to my handlebars. Hell yeah. Blasting the Rise from the Crypt demo. Damn, that is, God damn. Fucking
Yeah.
boombox. I used to have a like the first truck I had, my tape player didn't work, or when it broke, I was like, I can't fucking go anywhere and not listen to anything. So I got this fucking boombox. Had to buy those D fucking batteries. I had to buy like 8 D batteries, and that was my stereo in my truck.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have a boom box when I used to ride BMX bikes. We would blast a boom box in the park or whatever and make some jumps and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Those were
that's
good
funny.
fucking times. Hell yeah. Oh,
Morbid Read. Hey, John, what was your experience like with Will Romer during his short time in Incantation?
yeah. Well, Will. I mean, basically, our deal was at that time is Will was never supposed to be like a permanent member, or I wasn't supposed to be a permanent member of Mortician. We were just helping each other out because at that time it really was slim pickings for people into that brutal of stuff. I mean, Incantation and Mortician were both like pretty advanced, and most people were just like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" You know. So we basically he asked me to help him out after Matt Harshner, the guitar player before me, left, and then like probably a month after that, we were having a hard time finding an Incantation vocalist. So I was like, well, I could ask Will, I mean, because like, what better than to have the most brutal vocalist at that point in history as our vocalist for our demo? That'd be awesome. And so he came, he helped us out on our demo. We did a couple shows, in-can shows, did a lot of like
Yeah,
in-can Mortician shows. It was both like in-can probably had 6 songs at the time, and Mortician had like, you know, probably 6 songs, but their 6 songs was like 10 minutes or something. So the sets were
yeah,
pretty short. We were able to play. So we were able to do like double sets pretty much within a regular set time at
yeah,
that time with both bands. And, it was a good help for both of us. And I mean, I have great memories of playing in Mortician too. It was a lot of fun. It,
yeah.
it was just fun to be at practice. And, like I would just, he would like, we try to come up with some riffs because I came up with a couple of those riffs, or like at least the bait. I was there when we were working on them and stuff, and I remember like I'd come up with a riff and he'd be like, "No, no, no, that's way too technical," and it was like not technical. It was like dun, 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 and like no, it has to be dun 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 dun. So it was good though because I learned a lot from it because it was just like bring everything down to the caveman.
Yeah,
It's like it just like I am a guitar player. I play chords, and that's it. And he used to
that's funny.
always tell me to stop playing the pinch harmonics. Like no, no pinch harmonics.
Yeah, yeah.
You
What is
know,
that? Well, fuck that song off the demo. And
yeah, yeah,
then that shit's
yeah.
heavy as fuck.
That one that wait, that was
What's that
oh,
song
no, the
called?
one that
I
goes
don't. Oh,
I think it
you
was
wrote that one?
that one. Yeah, that was one that
That's
I with the riff,
that's
but I did
fucking
it different. Like I did like dun, 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 wee. I did like that pitch harmonic.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
You know, you know. But yeah, a couple of those riffs here and there. It
That's funny.
was funny because there was also another riff we wrote too, which it was actually myself and Sitcher were playing an SOD song, and he was like, "Ah, it's a good riff." And we were like, "Yeah, we're playing SOD," and then he was like, "Ah, no, we could use it." And I ended up
It's ours now.
yeah, it was fun. I learned a lot from it because at that time I just got out of playing in Revenant. I was starting Incantation, and I I was a little bit caught up more in trying to be a little more technical at the time with the riffs and stuff, are a little more twisted. And he really made me think like, okay, so you could just do caveman style and it works out.
Yeah,
It work out be more effective on some of the slower parts. Like I don't need to fill in all these spaces, with stuff. And yeah, I'm very
yeah,
grateful for that opportunity. And it was just a lot of fun. It was just fun to do things in a band and have a totally different uh, way of doing things. Like it was before that, like most of the bands I was in, I was such a huge part of the agenda of how the band went. And then I joined this, helped out this other band where it's like it's their thing. You just tell me what to do.
yeah,
Of course, I came up with a couple riffs, but it was all just like, this is all for you. You just tell me how you want it, and I'll do it. And because I sat back and let them kind of guide me on how they wanted to do it, I actually learned a lot more about looking at things from a different style than me going in there and just being, okay, this is my agenda. so I want to do it, blah blah blah, and that's that. So yeah, it was a great opportunity. It was so much fun, and I love playing. It was great to have Will play with us. I mean, because we would just go, did our demo, and we had basically had the brutalist vocalist in death metal on our demo at that time. So I was just like, I was happier than the pig in shit.
All right.
I'm always going to be grateful for the opportunity that Will gave me to to play a mortician and also to work with us. And I just
Yeah.
seen him a couple of months ago. We played with him, and it's just always nice to see him. He's yeah, he's a great guy, great friend.
What necro which Necrovore song would you cover?
Um, I mean, that's tough because I want to cover all of them if I'm going to do it. But it's the thing is like we've done some covers and we even talked about it in Can one time. This was years ago about doing like an EP of covers and stuff like that. But Necrovore like never came up as an option because it's like I, something that's sacred. It's so hard to touch and to be able to do it the right way that I just don't think I'd ever really want to do something that I like that. I mean, we used to do covers of bands like like the Strapato Slaughter from
Yeah.
Canada, do Sarcophago stuff. It worked out, but pretty much just with when it came to Necrovore, pretty much just kind of we would jam on the songs, but we'd never like necessarily like think like okay, let's do a cover of that because you can't.
Yeah.
That stuff is just too good. I mean, even if you got the music right, John D. Blechette's vocals are so top notch that I just would
Yeah.
never want to desecrate them with anything less than the perfection that's there, in my opinion.
What is that old commercial? Anything less would be uncivilized or something like
Yes,
that.
I see
All
someone
right.
put the meat cleaver. That's an old Slaughter song. That's a song
Yeah.
that I don't think it's on any of their albums. The one they did at the radio station. I don't even know where to find that song anymore. I used to have a, a tape traded tape where they were on a radio show and they basically like he's just sitting there with an acoustic guitar, basically playing the incinerator type riff, but it was called the meat cleaver. Like you're on the run from the meat cleaver, and just played this song on the radio. It was awesome.
There was the old Jersey band Hatred had a song called "Me
Oh, that was a great
Cleaver."
band. That's one of the most underrated bands. If they would have stayed in that style, that what was it? What
Shit
was the name of
fucking
that?
rules. The
Oh,
Drowning in Afterbirth.
Drowning in Afterbirth.
Shit rules.
That vocalist sounded like
Bloody guts, bloody guts.
yes, yeah, that was awesome. That guy, he sounded like a munchkin on acid or crack or something like that. It was so good. It
All
was
right,
a
I'll ask a few more.
when
Go
I when
ahead.
I went well, really quickly when I went to see them play, they fucking changed their style and they went to like some progressive hardcore band or whatever. So I was so bummed out because I was like so
Yeah.
expecting to hear Bloody Guts and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and they were playing. They didn't play any of that stuff. They played this progressive hardcore stuff. I'm just like, what? I'm like telling them like, dude, the demo's so good, and they're just looking at me like I'm on crack. I'm like, no, you guys are the ones on crack. Go back on crack and do that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If crack is what it takes, then fucking crack is what you need to do. God damn it. Yeah, that it was. Yeah, it was another. All right. So when will the Doom album be released? I guess you got to have people that follow you every word you fucking say. So
Yeah. Well, that we actually we came to a stall on that. Unfortunately, things were going pretty good to a certain point, and then the whole project just kind of lost steam. And we actually had to talk about it earlier this year, and that's why we started working on just new material that's going to be a part of our next album instead of doing it because it was almost like we had this really good idea and we're really pumped about it, and then life got in the way, and it just kind of like every time we have to go back to it, it was losing something. And yeah, pretty much what we decided to do is that we're still going to do the Doom record, but we're going to do a Doom record probably number one. We're going to probably do it not as an incantation album, so we don't have to deal with the expectations of a incantation album, and have I don't want to say limitations, but kind of limited limitations to some extent, because it just I think it's better if we do it naturally and let it be what it's going to be, and not have the incantation connection to it as far as album title goes. So we're probably going to do it, but we're probably going to end up doing it under a different name. I mean, we already talked about it, Kyle and myself, and we want to get to it after we finishing up the next album. We want to try to revisit some of the Doom stuff and try to do a fresh take on it, because you got to understand, like, we wrote like probably 10 Doom songs, and they're fucking long. So when you're at a practice playing that much Doom stuff, it's like if you're not super pumped on it, you're just like, okay, already,
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
Fuck all
like,
that.
an hour and a half or something like that. Because if we the
Two
songs
songs.
we had it was we'd have to do a double album to fit them all on there, because it was just getting to be too crazy. So we want to just take all the pressure off and just go get back to it at another time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to ask a question by Fraser. If not, he's going to fucking send me 800 messages about why I didn't ask you his question. So he wants to know, is there like a place or a country that you haven't played yet that you're like, fuck, I want to go play there?
Yeah. Well, there's one place we haven't played in the States that I really want to play. I want to play fucking Montana, motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
Rage in Montana. I think
Oh, the
that might
Montana Cowboys better show up.
yeah, I think that might be, besides Alaska and like Guam or something. Those are like a few places we haven't played in the States. It would be cool to play in Guam. I don't know if they have a scene there, but I mean, other countries. Uh, yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate. We played a lot of places. The one place I'm really bummed out that we weren't able to play, which I wanted to. We were actually set up to play there, was in Ukraine, but they had a fucking war, so
Oh,
that fucking fucked it all up. We were setting it up for like June of was it 22? I can't remember when it started. It was 22 or 23. It was probably 22, and we were set up to play there, and the war started in February, so that fucked everything up with that. I mean,
man.
they have more problems than worrying about our fucking show, but for us, it was just a real bummer, because we've been trying to play there for so long, and then for them to have such a sucky situation happen after that.
Yeah. I mean, rarely do people agree on everything 100%, but I think people will agree 100% that they'd rather have incantation play than fucking war going on. So, you know,
Because we
unless
are
you really
oh
fucking
no,
hate incantation, you know what I mean? I think you'd rather have incantation come play in your town than fucking missiles flying by your fucking building, So,
so
uh,
there's actually another place we want to play too, and I don't know, maybe with all the wacky stuff that's going on, it could actually happen. But we've been wanting to play Venezuela for a while, but
oh shit.
it's since like we're talking, like I've been trying to play there for the last 20 years or whatever, and early on it was a better chance, but then the economy went to crap or whatever for so
Yeah.
many years. It was just impossible to play there. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple places like that. A couple, like, even there was talk at one time for us doing something in Cuba, which
Oh shit.
I would have thought was cool, because I hear
Wow.
they actually have a pretty good scene there. But you know, it's difficult to play these kind of places, because the thing that always screws up everything, it's politics always screws up everything. So
Yeah.
it's like, we just want to go there and play some metal for people. I don't give a fuck about their
Yeah.
politics. That's none of my business. That stuff. It's like, people are into metal, and I want to fucking play for them. And I think that's a good thing. I mean,
Yep.
one of the cool places that we have played recently that I've been wanting to play was, we played Dubai 2 years
Wow.
ago now, and that was really, really, really cool, because it, I give a lot of credit to the it's called Metal East company that brought us there because with all the bullshit, yeah, it's a crazy area, lots of problems, lots of political stuff going on, but
Uh huh.
it's like it's nice to see the fucking metalheads are there, and they want to see fucking bands, and people travel from all over different countries in the Middle East to see us play in Dubai, and those kind of moments are just really great to know that no matter what, like the religious bullshit or the political bullshit, it's like metal could overpower all that, and we could all just be friends and enjoy a fucking metal show, and
Yeah.
so I like stuff like that. I like to play, for people that don't get the opportunity to see that much metal or might be fans of us and don't get to see it. So yeah, I love doing that. The more places we could play like that, the better. I mean, as long as they won't
Yeah.
like execute us for being there or something, I'm down with it.
Hey man, you're supposed to die for this shit, man.
Yes, exactly. Oh, one other place too. While we're at it, I was hoping one day to play Laos. I don't know.
Oh,
My friend Yusuke from Defiled played some shows there. Said it was actually really good, and I would love to do it, but it's so difficult because country like that, it just their economy is so rigid that it's really
yeah.
expensive for them to do a show. Even if we tried to do it for barely anything, it just even just the flights there and the hotels is like sometimes too much for
Yeah.
them to even barely handle. I mean, that's when we I played some places before where we did it for basically no money, just to do it, and
Yeah.
they were struggling. So I feel kind of bad.
So you would say it's lousy that you can't play Laos?
Yes,
I beat you to it. We both had to say I beat you to it. I knew you were coming. I was like, I got to say this before Spirit World says it. So there you go. I beat you to it. So anyway, well, man, I guess we've been on here long enough. Just because I got a mic. Well, yeah, exactly. Don't blame my mic. But yeah, man. Anything that you want to promote that maybe we didn't get to talk about? Let us know.
well, let me think. Okay, well, I'll just say the things we did talk about, and now we have the Pensacola show coming up the next weekend, which I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to. Well, we'll look forward to all the stuff we'll say. We have the Carolina Chainsaw Massacre Fest coming up. We have the tour with Belfagor in the States and played a couple Canadian shows with that, which we're pumped about. After that, we have Inferno Fest in
Oh
Norway.
yeah, I
We're
saw
pumped
that on the
about
Incantation
that special
website. Yeah.
show. We're doing Onward About the Set for that one. It's going to be our only European version of Onward About the Set at this point. And then what do we have? Then we have Milwaukee Metal Fest we're playing. Um, and that should be a lot of fun. And I don't think we have anything else that I can announce as far as that. Besides that, check out the Seasons of the Dead album,
Yeah.
Zombie Chronicles Part One. You can get at Night Shift Records. It's something really cool, and I hope that we can get enough support so we can get some shows for the band here in the States. And I really look forward to doing more shows with that band and just having fun playing with the guys, but also it feels good to honor, one of my influences, Killjoy, with that.
Yeah, dude.
Sure, there's other stuff. I don't know, just fucking support Incantation. Don't be a poser. And if you are a poser, listen to us, and hopefully it'll change you not to. So we're here to do you guys, a favor. We're trying
Go
to help.
listen to some Whoppers Taste Good and then get back to me. All right.
Yes, yes, that's your homework, everybody.
Yeah, go listen to Whopper Taste Good demo.
Do Whoppers taste good, and leave a review of it online for.
There you go.
You guys-
Leave a comment on like the Incantation like social medias or something like that. Say, hey, dude, I checked out.
What we need to make a campaign is we need to make a campaign to bring back Whoppers Taste Good and get them to like headline Milwaukee Metal Fest or
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That'll
So
be
go
sick.
check out. Yeah, go check out the Whoppers Taste Good demo and leave a review on the on it. If you see any kind of Incantation post on the social medias. Just go on there and just put shit about Whoppers taste good. But I think the demo is on YouTube.
It'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. Well, shit, man. Cool to have having you on again. Hopefully, it won't be another 2 years, but
yeah. You said that. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because you did like a playlist, like a 1986 playlist kind of show, and I think that was the last time you were on.
Yeah, and it's funny because originally was just going to do a playlist this time, but then he said just to come on and chat, which I was kind of happy about because I picked the year without picking any songs yet, so I was like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, I want to do a playlist sometime. So
we'll do another one. Just let me know when you have time, and we'll fucking set it up. And everybody likes these playlist shows and shit, so they get to find out about fucking obscure bands sometimes, like Whoppers Taste Good. So
it's fuck.
You know what I mean? So awesome. Well, John, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna look and see when you guys are playing Houston, and hopefully it's on a fucking Friday or something.
It's really easy though. I'll know if you're a poser, and this goes for everybody. I'll know who the posers are because I won't see you at the show, and I'll be like, I'll mark it down and be like, okay, I got
it. God damn it. Yeah, nope. It's a lot of pressure now. Oh, it's on a Sunday. Well. We'll have to see about that.
That doesn't sound too optimistic. Okay.
No. Fraser's going to be there for sure. So he'll. I think he's going to be there. Where's the show at, Fraser? I'm sure he knows the venue. Where's it at? Is it at Scout Bar or something? Yeah. Oh, Scout Bar. Okay, it's Scout Bar. Yeah. Technically, that's not Houston, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like South
Clear Lake. Yeah.
Yeah. But and Frazier, he doesn't have those. He doesn't have any of those nice shitters anymore, does he?
No. Toilet boy.
I was gonna say, it's like that would be a really good thing for him to bring to a show, especially for like bands when they come. Because I'd rather use that shitter than the one they have at the bars.
That'd be good. Have a fucking show and it's like, hey, dude. Fucking nice little fucking shitter instead of this crappy. Well, cool, man. I guess, yeah. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. And you guys go check out incantation.com. Go check out Incantation on tour with Belphegor. And, don't be a poser. Pretty much.
Thank you everyone for checking out the show. And thank you for having me again.
All right. Later, John.
Hey.
There you go. He's gone, and I'm going to be gone very soon as well. Fraser, he's going to talk about that at work. It's like John mentioned my name. Anyway, that was awesome. Didn't really plan much of that other than we're just shooting the shit, and I thought it went pretty well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for hanging out, watching it live. If you're watching the replay, that's cool too. If you want to come back anytime, but this is a show I'm doing Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. Mark Riddick. We're going to talk about some of his old bands and some of the stuff he's got going on, and we're going to show off some tapes and 7 inches and shit like that. So that's going to be cool. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm kind of fucking hungry. I haven't had anything to eat, so probably gonna go eat and maybe I'll start a twatch later on, but maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, again, thanks to John. Go check out Incantation on the road and all that shit. And yeah. 8 o'clock, buddy. Be there or be a poser. So, anyway. All right. I'm out of here. Before I go, Fraser, what'd you think of tonight's show?
I got no opinion.
All right. Well, fuck you then. All right. Later.
You've been watching Jam and Adult Badass. Take care, everybody.